Yeah. So what is namespace? Namespace are used to group of our Kubernetes components logically. Something like so what is that app pods, BlueJTech app NS, BlueJTech DBNS, something like the pods are so we have a group of pods, something like so this is the one a namespace. Under this namespace, we have a number of DB pods are running. So that is the purpose they are using the namespace. So we can create logically isolate with each other. So when we delete the namespace, all the components created under that namespace will be external displays disconnected. Why? So I already plugged in, right? Yeah, guys. Able to see, right? Guys?
Yes, yes, bro.
Yeah. So when we create the namespace using the below commands, default public cube system, cube node release. So by default, so we can take that by default. So if you want to create, you can create or so if you are not specifying any namespace, it will create under the by default. Okay. So API version kind equal to namespace, metadata equal to BlueJDNS, it will create the so namespace. Under the namespace, we can create the a pod service created under the namespace. So I will take any one of them. For example, pod svc.ml. So we will take this and we'll create a namespace. Or else I will take github.com. Krishna. Simple SVC, pod SVC, Tomcat to replication controller, pod SVC. Please load application namespace. You guys can take this one. So what is that? The namespace. Yeah. So from here, API version v1, kind equal to namespace, metadata, namespace equal to RIIT-NS. Okay. That API version v1, kind equal to pod, metadata. So my Tomcat labels, my Tomcat. So here in the labels, so we can specify the namespace. So it is from RIIT NS. Okay. And the spec, so my Tomcat API service, metadata, name equal to my Tomcat 9 SVC, namespace. So you are providing that namespace under the metadata. So under the metadata. Okay. Guys, understood?
Yeah,
So this pod is created under the which namespace? So
Hari.
Hari IT
Yeah.
NS namespace. Okay. So how you can apply this, guys? You can apply this by using what is that? So we need a dot, right? Three dots. So right, we can write in any number of ML files. We can write any number of these the services. So something like kinds. So this is the namespace kind. This is the pod kind. This is the service kind. Okay. So if you want to write the number of manifest files, you can give the three icons. You can give a three icons. The end of this, we can give the three dots. So we can give three dots. So how you can create a kubectl apply hyphen f manifest dot manifest ml. So what is the manifest ml? So what we create the manifest ml something like for svc namespace dot am for svc namespace dot am. Okay, for svc namespace dot am. So how you can apply kubectl apply manifest dot ml. Kubectl get all hyphen n hurry itns. It will get the all the parts related to hurry itns namespace. Okay, kubectl get parts hyphen n hurry itns. Okay, this is we will check only the so we will check only parts. If you want to check only svc kubectl get svc hyphen n hurry itns. Okay, this is the namespace. This is the service. So if you want to check the logs, kubectl logs pod name hyphen n hurry itns. Okay, so if you want to check the pod logs, you can check the pod logs also. So if you want to delete the namespace, you can how you can delete it? You can delete it kubectl kubectl delete ns hurry itns. Okay, so it will delete the namespaces also. Namespaces also. Yes, understood? So this is the namespace. Just you can give, so you can create another AML API version kind equal to namespace metadata name equal to hurry itns. So where I can provide this, where you can in the labels app my tomcat namespace equal to hurry itns. So this pod will create under the this namespace. The same like this service name my tomcat 9 svc the namespace hurry ns. So we can create the namespace. This service also create under the which namespace? This namespace. Yes, understood? Very good. So as of now, what we discussed, guys, we discussed about the parts, services, cluster, node port, and load balancer, right? So third one is namespaces. So as of now, we discussed about the parts of services namespaces. Guys, I will show you this namespace. So when we start the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So as of now, so we have created parts manually. How you are creating the parts manually? Using the pod manifest manifest ML. Manifest ML. Guys, what is the Kubernetes advantage, guys? The Kubernetes advantage is auto healing and auto scaling. So auto healing and auto scaling, right? But So we are deleting the pods, we are creating the pods. We are creating the pods and we are deleting the pods. But so the Kubernetes advantage is auto healing and auto scaling, right? So if we delete our pods, if we delete our pod, Kubernetes not recreating, not recreating the pod, hence application will be down, right? It will not recreating. So what is this? Delete pod. So how to delete the pod, guys? Kubectl delete pod name. So it will delete the pod. It will recreate the pod. No, it will not recreate the pod. But what is the Kubernetes advantages? Auto healing and auto scaling. But auto healing here, auto healing is done. Is recreating the pods? No, it's not recreating the pods, right? Kubectl get pods. So when we delete the pod, right, it will not create the pod. Is pod pod is not recreated because we have created pod manually. We have created the pod manually. So it is not all recommended to create pods manually, right? So so you can use the Docker only, right? Why we need to use the Kubernetes if it is creating manually? It is not all recommended to create pods manually. It is not recommended to create pods manually. So always we need to create the pods using below components resources. It will automatically recreate, guys. So what is the concept? The concept is replication controller and replica set. So replication controller is the old method and the replica set is the new method. So if you set as a replica set, it will automatically create when the pod dies, when the pod crashes, it will automatically created the pods, guys. I will show you. So always we need to create the pods using below Kubernetes components or resources. Okay. So what are those? So if you want to create automatically, you can use these services. What is the replication controller? What is that, guys? Replication controller. The second one is replica set. Guys, currently we are using the replica set. In my company also we are using the replica set. The replication controller is the older one. What is that? So replication controller is the they are using in the old methodology. So deployment. So in real time they are using the kind equal to deployment, guys. The real time they are using kind equal to deployment. In the kind we will provide the replica set. Okay. So the fourth one is stateful set. We already know the stateful set. Why stateful set? So whatever the data need to persistent permanently, right? So data will not lose the data by use for that part. So using the stateful set. And the fifth one is daemon set. What is that, guys? Daemon set. So what is that? So if you want to create the pod automatically, what we can use the below components, replication controller, replica set, deployment, stateful set, and daemon set. Most are in the real time, they are using the kind equal to deployment. So in that kind, we can provide the replica set and provide the replica set. Yes. Yeah. Guys, understood? Guys, let's speak out, guys. ఏమన్నా అర్థమైందా కొంచెం అన్నా? ఆల్ ఆర్ స్లీపింగా? So manually created pod is not recommended. So in the above scenario, we have created the pods manually. If we create the pod, then Kubernetes will not provide a high availability. So right, so once a pod got deleted, Kubernetes not creating the another pod and application went down. So if you want to achieve high availability, then we should not create the pods manually. So we need to use Kubernetes components to create pods. Then Kubernetes will provide a high availability. So high availability means always our application should be accessible, right? So these are the components. So we use and so we can use the high availability. So what is a replication controller? Okay. So replication controller, replica set. So set based and equality based, I will tell you guys. Replication controller versus replica set. So daemon set. Okay. What is a replication controller? So what is replication controller, guys? So it is a Kubernetes component which is used to create the pod. So what is that? Replication controller. So replication controller. So what is a replication controller? Replication controller, it is a Kubernetes component which is used to create the pod. So what is this, guys? It is a Kubernetes component which is used to create which is to create the pod. So what is it? It will make sure always given number of pods are running our application. So what is this, guys? It will make sure always given number of given number of pods are running for our application. So running for our application. Is understood? So it is a Kubernetes components which is used to create the pods. It will make sure always given number of pods are running our application. So right, if you provide the replication controller kind equal to replication controller, so then we will provide the whatever the pods we are running. For the in the replication controller, they are creating three pods. For example, if you delete the pod, it automatically create the pod because of the replication controller set to three pods. Always three pods will run. Okay, always three pods will run. So how we can achieve the auto scaling? I will tell you. Okay, so it will take care of the pod life cycle. What is that? Not so it will take care of the take care of the pod life cycle. Okay, it will take care of the pod life cycle. So on the another node to two. So this is node one. Okay, node two. When pod is crashed, when pod is crashed, damaged, are deleted, then RC replication controller will create a new pod. Will create the new pod. Okay, understood, guys. So we can scale up and scale down pods count using replication control. So what is that, guys? So we can scale up and scale down the pods. So pods count using replication controller. Now you understood? What is replication? Guys understood? Huh? Yeah. So we'll take the replication controller. Yeah. This is the replication controller.yaml. So we can create cat rc.yaml. Okay. Yeah. So what is this, guys? rc.yaml replication controller.yaml. Guys, so what we will achieve for this? So we will achieve the pod crashing, pod damages, pod detail delete. So it will automatically create API version v1 kind equal to replication controller. So kind equal to replication controller, metadata, name equal to nginx web app RC replication controller spec. Guys, so here we have a how many spec? So we have a two specs. So one spec is for replicas, and the another spec is for the containers. Another spec is for the containers. So name equal to nginx web app RC spec replicas. How many replicas we have? Three replicas. So we have how many replicas? Three replicas we have selector app nginx web app. So what is the selector? So this selector will create the, so here we can use the in the selector labels. Okay. So what is that selector equal to app when nginx web app. So this container make sure, so we need to run always three pods. So how many pods? Three pods we need to always run. If you delete the one pod, it will automatically create the pod. So if you delete the two pods, or if you delete the three pods automatically, it will automatically creates the three pods. So that is the beauty of replicas. What is so in the replication controller we can use the replicas, but in the replication set we can use the replica set. I will show you. Okay. So now you understood. So the only difference is the spec. In the spec we can provide the replicas and select the template. So label. So we can select here. So we can provide the label equal to nginx. This label in the selector that app it always running the three pods. Okay. In the spec containers name equal to nginx web image equal to nginx. So nginx ports equal to container port 80. So this is nothing but a spec. This is nothing but a, this spec is related to container. This spec is related to replicas. You see, guys, spec is nothing but a specifications. This specification is related to containers. This specification is related to replicas. This specification is related to replicas. Guys, understood? Yes, right. The finally service. Service is nothing but a node port. You understood. Right, guys? You can give the three dots. So now you understood, guys. So this is nothing but a replication controller. So replication controller uses in the old methodology. Okay, I will tell you that in the kubectl delete kubectl delete all hyphen all. If you delete all, it will automatically create all. Kubectl apply -f rc.aml. Okay. So if you rc.aml, it will create the replication controller. So get pods and hyphen wide. You can check the kubectl get pods hyphen o wide. Why wide, guys? It will show in which node it will created. Kubectl get pods overwrite get svc. So which namespace is created? So service is created. kubectl get rc. This is nothing but a replication controller. It will show you. So, so what is that? If you want to increase the replicas, so but what we are providing the 3 replicas here. But I want to increase 5 replicas. What is that? kubectl scale RC scale replication controller. What is that, guys? So nginx web app nginx. So web app hyphen what is that? Nginx web app. Nginx web app RC. The name is Nginx web app RC hyphen replicas 5. If you create this one, right, it will automatically scale up the replicas by command. So kubectl scale RC nginx web app RC hyphen replicas scale down to 3. Now you understood scale up, scale down. But manually, so we'll show you scale up, scale down in the how we can scale up, how we can scale down. So we'll show you to guys. Okay. So this one is the replication controller. What is the replica set, guys? So what is replica set? The same. So the replication control is the old methodology. Replica set is a new one. So replica set is a replacement for the replication controller. It is a next gen component in the Kubernetes cluster. What is that, guys? Replica set. So what is replica set? Replica set also same. So replica set is a replacement for the replication controller. It is next gen component in the Kubernetes. Replica set is also used to manage pod lifecycle. So replica set also will maintain the given number of pods always same. So whatever we use the right replication controller, but replica set is the replacement for the replication controller. It is a next gen component in Kubernetes cluster. What is that? Replica set is a replacement for replication controller. Replication controller. It is next gen component in Kubernetes cluster. Okay, it is the next gen component in Kubernetes cluster. Replica set is what is that, guys? So replica set is also used to manage pods. So manage pod life cycle. What is that? So this is also a manage the pod life cycle. Manage the pod life cycle. Okay. So replica set also will maintain the given number of same replication control. Replica set also will maintain given number of pods always. Given number of pods always. So we can scale up and we can scale down. We can scale up and scale down our pods using replica replica set also, using replica set also. So the only difference between replication control and replica set is selector. What is that? So here we provided the selector, right? What is the selector? So this is the selector, right? So for example, equality selector and set based selector. I will tell you what is the equality selector and what is set based selector. So what is the difference between replication controller and replica set? The only selector. The only selector. Okay. The only difference. The only difference between replication, replication controller and replicas replica set is selector. What is that, guys? The only difference between replication controller and replica set is selector. So what is this selector? In the selector, so what we created, we provided in the selector we provided the container, so container name. Okay. So for example, so we have only app selector. We have a DB selector. We have a DB containers. So for example, messaging queues containers, app queues, app services containers, right? But here we can select only the app center. So what is the difference between that replication control and replica set? So so here we can select the set based selectors and the equality based selectors. So what is that replication controller supports? Equal replication controller. This replication controller supports equality based selector. So equality based selector means we can select the app or something like it. So replication selector supports the set based selectors. So what is set? So set is nothing but a, yeah, I will tell you. Replication replication controller supports equality based selector. What is that? So replication controller supports equality based selector. So what is equality based selector? Example example is selector. In the selector, we are providing app. What is that? Nginx web app. What is this? This is the Nginx web app. So what is the replica set? Replica set supports set based selector. So what is the set based selector? Example selector. This selector is that match label here. So we are providing the match labels. So what are the match labels, guys? The match labels are app. This is related to app Java web app version V1. Okay. Type backend. DB version V1 type data is. Yes, you understood? So for example, so we'll provide this one also. So understood, right? So this match label is equal to app. This match label equal to DB. So we can provide the version one type of database. So this is nothing but a set based replica set support set based selector. So this is the equality based selector. We are just providing the app or DB here. But here, so we can provide the match label. So the label should be app version type of backend. Okay. So the difference between replica set and replicas. So right. So that is the difference between replica set and replication controller. So for example, this is replication controller. Yeah, this is the replica set. So what is the replica set? Discussed about the replica set, right? Yeah. So replica set that AML API version apps v1 kind replica set metadata. So nginx web app RC. Okay, spec replicas 3. So here replicas 3 selector match labels. What is the match labels? So app nginx web app template name nginx web app prod labels app nginx spec container. Okay, this is the service port. The difference between replica set and replication controller, just a match labels. So that provides the equality based selector. This provides the set based selectors. Is understood? So this is nothing but apps v1. So something like a db v1, right? So we can provide whatever the equality selector. So in the equality selectors, there is a match labels. So there is no difference between application controller and replica set. Dot dot dot. So what is right, guys? kubectl delete all hyphen hyphen all. It will delete everything. So next kubectl apply hyphen f. So what is that? Name replica set dot replica set dot this is the replica set. It will create the replica set cube kubectl get parts hyphen o wide kubectl kubectl get svc kubectl get kubectl get RC replication controller. Okay. The same, like you can also scale up and scale down. So kubectl scale RC, kubectl scale RS here. What is that? Replication. So nginx web RC, replicas 5, replicas 3. So if you want to delete, guys, you can use kubectl delete rs nginx web RC. Is understood? So this is nothing but a replication controller replica set. So right. So before that, what is that? Service namespace. So names space. You guys understood?
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Yes, sir. So we'll show you. So tomorrow I will show you practically. So once I will launch that Kubernetes cluster, I will show you namespace and replication controller and replica set. So tomorrow we'll discuss about the deployment and deployment strategies. I already told you, right? The deployment strategies. So, so, so in the real time, they are using the deployment, and under the deployment, they are using the strategy. So we are providing the strategy and the replication controller. So real time, they are using. This is the deployment ML. So in the deployment ML, so kind equal to deployment. Okay. So spec replicas strategy. So tomorrow we'll show you that strategy. So what is the strategy of the Kubernetes cluster model? So our application will not get the downtime. No need of a downtime. So we can use the which type of strategies. So recreate and rolling updates. We have a two types of strategies. So if you want to use the recreate or a rolling update. So rolling update is nothing but you have a three parts. So the one by one. So first one pod deleted and we'll create the another pod. Right. The same like as a rolling update and recreate. So we'll show you tomorrow the strategies, deployment strategies. Okay. So this is nothing but a deployment. So tomorrow we'll show you deployment and again, so we'll do the practicals, the deployment up to deployment. Okay.
Okay, bro.
So the companies are using blue-green deployment. What is a blue-green deployment? Right. The companies are using a blue-green deployment. The deployment strategies are recreate and rolling update. So recreate means everything will delete the and update. So rolling update is nothing but a one by one. It will delete. So recreate means it will delete the all the existing pods and it will create a new pods. Content will be there. So rolling update strategy means it will delete the pods, create a new pod one by one. So if you don't specify the deployment strategy, then by default it will consider the rolling update. Okay. So strategies. So the blue-green deployment model. What is the blue-green deployment model? Advantage of blue-green. Okay. So next config maps, secrets. So stateless application, stateful application. You already know, right? Stateful and stateless. So then Helm charts.
Diamond set.
Hmm?
Diamond set. Demon set.
Dimension.
డీమన్ సెట్ మిస్ అయింది అంటున్నాను.
వస్తుంది డీమన్ సెట్.
ఓకే ఓకే.
డీమన్ సెట్ రాలేదా?
రాలేదు. ఓన్లీ పార్ట్స్ చూసాము, సర్వీసెస్ చూసాము, నెక్స్ట్ లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సర్ అవి
ఈ
చూసాము.
స్టేట్లెస్ స్టేట్ ఫుల్ లోనే వస్తుంది డీమన్ సెట్.
చూడలేదు మన స్టేట్ ఫుల్ స్టేట్లెస్.
వచ్చిందా?
చూడలేదు. లెట్స్ సీ టుమారో. లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్స్
ఓకే.
విత్ డీమన్ సెట్ టుమారో అండ్ దెన్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్. ఆ స్టేట్ ఫుల్ స్టేట్లెస్ అది కూడా చూడలేదు బ్రో.
నువ్వు డోకర్ లో చూడలేదు, డోకర్ వినలేదు కదా సరిగ్గా.
ఎందుకు ఇది ఇందులో కూడా వస్తుంది కదా?
వస్తుంది. అక్కడ వినుంటే నీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. సో
ఆ.
స్టేట్ ఫుల్ స్టేట్లెస్ అంటే ఏం లేదు. సో మన యాప్ ఉంటుంది కదా అప్లికేషన్ కి. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నీ డేటా అనేది లూజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఉండాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఏమి ఉపయోగిస్తావంటే స్టేట్లెస్ అంటే నీ డేటా లూజ్ అయిపోతుంది. స్టేట్ ఫుల్ అంటే డేటా విల్ నాట్ డిలీట్ ద పర్సిస్టెంట్ డేటా.
మ్మ్.
డేటాబేస్ ఏదైనా ఉంటుంది కదా, డాకర్ వాల్యూమ్స్ ఉంటుంది కదా,
మ్మ్.
ఆ కాన్సెప్టే స్టేట్లెస్ స్టేట్ ఫుల్.
ఓకే చూద్దాం చూద్దాం.
సో స్టేట్లెస్ అప్లికేషన్స్, స్టేట్ఫుల్ అప్లికేషన్స్. స్టేట్లెస్ అప్లికేషన్స్ అంటే నోట్ జేఎస్, వెబ్ యాప్ అప్లికేషన్స్ మొత్తం స్టేట్లెస్. స్టేట్ఫుల్ అంటే డేటాబేస్ అవన్నీ ఉంటాయి కదా, డేటా అనేది డిలీట్ అవ్వకుండా ఉండాలన్నమాట ఆ డాకర్ కంటైనర్. సో ఇంకో డాకర్ కంటైనర్ క్రియేట్ అయినా కానీ ఆ డేటా అనేది అటాచ్ అవ్వాలి. సో ఒకవేళ డాకర్ కంటైనర్ డిలీట్ అయినా కానీ డేటా అనేది డిలీట్ అవ్వకూడదు. ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ, నో వరీస్.
ఓకే.
ఓకే గైస్,
థ్యాంక్ యూ
థ్యాంక్
బ్రో.
యూ.